Ginu Joseph, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Plastics TV and Petrochem TV. Here with me, Mr. Sisodia, who need no introduction in the petroleum, petrochemical, polymer and chemical industry. Mr. Sisodia, the presentation was very interesting for the industry as well as for us. After the excellent presentation, how do you see the industry's growth happening now and in the coming years, maybe down the line 5 years?
See, when you are talking about the industry, we talk about normally the oil industry. But as I mentioned, now within the oil industry, one of the sector or the products that are going to have positive growth, and when I say positive growth in both in terms of volumes and in margins, is going to be the petrochemicals. Because petrochemicals is a value addition in the refining process of the crude oil, which oil companies can generate higher GRMs. And therefore, now if you see at the latest Paradip refinery, we are going to have a petrochemical unit. At Paradip refinery, Panipat refinery, we already have a petrochemical unit. And you will be surprised to know that looking at this situation, even the international players like from Korea, they are now getting into case studies for putting up petrochemical plants in India. So looking at this, the future of petrochemicals in India is certainly going to be positive, and it is not only generating interest within the country, it is generating the interest from the outside players as well.
Most of the time you talk about sustainability and environment. What are the suggestions you want to give to the petrochemical, petroleum, polymer industry major players? How we can improve on environment?
See, one of the major things that today we are facing in case of petrochemicals is that we have basically two major source of supplies. One is RIL Jamnagar and other one is Indian Oil at Panipat refinery. So when you see this production of petrochemical products, it is to undertake lot of road and rail transportation right from Panipat to another end in south, or from Jamnagar to south and east. So therefore, if we have more units or more production centers, it will avoid transportation of petroleum products. And when you avoid transportation of petroleum products, you will naturally avoid the burning of the fuel also. So the carbon footprint also will improve, as well as the saving on fuel also will take place. This is one. And secondly, now there is lot of awareness which is coming up on use of plastic waste or generation of plastic waste. That is going to be one of the major issues which, in the interest of business, petrochemical units can take up with the government and standardize some sizes, micron sizes of the plastics which is not harmful to the environment. If this kind of thing technically can be developed by the petrochemical units, then we will have the utility also, and we will avoid the pollution into the sea or in the environment also. So this is how I see a very positive role which the petrochemical units can play in developing their business, as well as to support the government for reducing the pollution.
Today the market trend is changing. Pricing is going up and down, and as you said, plastic pollution. What are the suggestions you want to offer for reducing it, and how the trend is going to change? Will the prices are going to be higher and higher and higher, or there will be a stability on pricing? What is your opinion?
Well, first point on use of the plastic waste. One of the points that I covered in the morning presentation and even earlier has been that now the sensitivity that is being generated is that even in the road sector, municipal corporations have started collecting the waste plastic and constructing the roads with waste plastic. wherein what they are doing is they are shredding the waste plastic and heating it up along with bitumen for providing a coating on the aggregates. So now plastic roads are also becoming very popular, and if the whole costing of road construction with some positive advantage to the contractors is developed, tendering is developed in that manner, then these plastic roads also, particularly in the municipal areas and surrounding areas, will become very, very popular. And as per the reports I understand, plastic roads are doing much better performance also. So this is one thing which is coming up in the road sector. As far as the prices are concerned, I firmly believe the prices depend upon supply demand situation. And that's why I said today the supply or production of petrochemicals in the country is lesser than the demand. Therefore, as compared to the normal situation, the prices will look higher. But when we have more production center, then the supply will increase and the gap between supply demand will reduce. So in my opinion, the prices should come down on a longer term basis and should also be sustainable. Today we have absolutely no control on the price because supply is much lesser than the demand. In fact, the petrochemicals are being imported. So looking at this, more and more production facilities, more and more production centers, which I said even the parties from outside are showing interest. Once the supply increases, prices also will stabilize.
What message you want to give it to the traders, importers and the local chain, also to the petrochemical industry?
Well, I feel the way petrochemicals are performing and replacing the use of conventional materials, like I will just tell you, even in the areas where there is landslide, we used to have wire meshes earlier to avoid the landslide in these areas. Now with the petrochemicals, these meshes have been replaced by the petrochemical material. Similarly, now under the for the railway tracks, before the railway tracks are laid, to provide strength to the track, to the ballast which is on which the rail track is laid, there also the wire mesh, the mesh of made with petrochemicals is being laid. And same is the case for the road construction also. Wherever the lower bases of the roads are not so strong, these meshes made with petrochemicals are being used to provide the strength to the sub-base course of the roads. And same is the case in case of road construction industry. In case of even domestic uses, there is lot of uses which can be replaced from the conventional metals or materials. There is good amount of potential available for the petrochemical and petrochemical products. So to begin with, the traders can maybe not look for very high margin, but once they promote the use of petrochemicals, then once the prices stabilize, they can have better margins also.
Thank you so much for being with Modern Plastics TV and Petrochem TV. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much.